All right, and there we are. Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I'm coming at you with another Star Citizen live stream. What we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and while I'm thinking about it, I think I'm going to go, whoa, okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull up Discord, just in case anybody else is planning on jumping on to Star Citizen with me. They are welcome to join me. Let's go ahead and tweak my webcam just a little bit. Oh, nope. Can figure that biatch again. There we go, right there. Bap, boop, beep, 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 beep. Dirk's playing some other game. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the game. What do I think I want to play? Well, I always jump into the universe. That's where I get most of my enjoyment, is from the universe. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. And do I have it on? Ooh, I don't have a place that says best or worst or US. Ah, there it is. All right, guys, when you jump in, if you are watching this like via VCR or even on YouTube, you're welcome to drop me a question in the comments in the live chat if you're live, and that way I'll be able to respond to you. Okay, I'm going to jump over in Discord to a voice chat area. There we go. Now, if anybody wants to join me, they can. And if they want to, they'll be on stream if they do, though. All right, so we're loading into the universe, Port Olisar. I'm probably going to grab my saber, and then I think I'm going to fly around. It's been a while since I've been to Grim Hex, so I think I'm going to go to Grim Hex, mainly just to see if anything's changed in the last few updates. I don't think it has, but I'm going to do it anyway. And if you haven't ever seen Grim Hex, at least you'll get a chance to see Grim Hex before 3.0 drops, because as soon as 3.0 drops, everything's changing. Hey, look at that leg. That leg looks good. That leg looks good. Okay, but okay, I'm sitting at 20 FPS. I'm not unhappy about that. I get unhappy when it gets down to 15 or less. I feel like I'm actually running fast. Okay, let's hit the F4s. Yeah, F4s again, maybe. The Z. Yeah. Look at that, I'm sexy. And I got a long sniper rifle. Why do I have a sniper rifle? I've noticed that I've had a sniper rifle a lot lately. I don't know. Was it, you know what? It might have been one of those rewards for being such a cool dude. No, I don't know. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it and go. Get it and go. You know what we're going for? We're going for that. Going for that. Whoa, what do we got? Andromeda. What? That's just, wait. That's the normal Andromeda, right? I'm looking for the, yeah. Yeah, there we go. I wonder if my missile loadout has been saved.
Your ship is currently being delivered to the launch platform.
I should have like 16 missiles on my saber. Yes, I said it. 16. Word. This is a little bit earlier than I normally stream. I'm normally a late night, like live after midnight kind of guy. But since I had this time and I wanted to get into do some Star Citizen, I thought I'd jump into Star Citizen. So I might actually see a couple of audience members that I've never actually seen before. And, oh, there's a dude. There's a dude. He's eyeballing my saber. He's eyeballing it.
How you doing? Aegis combat assist activated.
He asked me what kind of ship it was. I had to tell him. He's having a good old time in my ship. I don't care. I mean, this is pre-alpha, right? And this, or alpha. I mean, it's kind of like alpha. So if they blow up my ship, it doesn't cost me a penny. It only costs me like 3 minutes to wait for it to respawn. So, because this is the alpha, I'm not worried if he blows it up. And it's good, what do you call it? Good PR. Guy's never heard of the UEE. That tells me he's new. Yeah, are you new to Star Citizen or just yanking my chain? Okay. Whew. He's been away for like a few months. No problem. I'm sitting here recruiting. Oh my gosh. We got a bunch of people on Discord this evening, but they're all like currently in other games, and I think that's a symptom of the fact that there's nothing new really going on in Star Citizen right now. Everybody's already done everything about 100 times, you know. But as soon as 3.0 drops, then then they'll be back into Star Citizen. Okay, well, I'm sorry. Wait. I played a few mods, quit, and just came back, relearning everything. We assumed you were with the... okay. Wow, that sounds good. You damn recruiters must be working on a quota. What did I just do? Stop. What am I doing? What did I hit? I hit a hotkey is what I did. I'm sorry. Okay, because I have some hotkey. Alright, Johnny Vane. Let's see if I can't figure out how to get him an invite. Let's go to the RSI website. Access denied. Okay, it just says I'm not logged in. I was like, what the hell? What? Access denied. Let me get back in the game and tell him, okay, sending. Okay, I'm in, and invitations, and his name is Johnny Come Lately. No, what was his name? Johnny something. Just being nice. Johnny Vane. Johnny Vane. I wonder if I'm supposed to capitalize that. Johnny Vane? Nope, there's good. Sent. Oh, he's vain because look at that. Look at his shirt. Whatever. Done. Invite sent. Wait, I should be getting back into the game. What the hell is going on with my screen? What the heck? There we are. I'll be back in a second. There we are. Wait, what's that little... Okay, there it is. I didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. See, I just jumped on and started a conversation with these guys. I don't even know them. Oh, it's letting me pick my saber. I wonder if it despawns the saber for the other guy. Hope not.
Selection confirmed. Your ship is currently being delivered to the launch platform.
I hope he's okay. I'm about to find out. If he screams, hey, what happened to my ship? But I think as long as he's sitting in it, it doesn't de-res. I think ownership of the ship just switched to him. I hope that's the case. Uh-oh, there it is. Oh no. No. Oh no. Oh goodness. So it does. Okay, that just proves it. Yeah, somebody's in your ship and where you pull it up, it'll disappear. Man, my stream is... I'm dropping some frames on my stream. It's 0.1%, but still, that's more frames than I like to drop. I don't like to drop any frames.
Launch complete. Landing gear retracted.
Yeah. Whoa, what's going on with that guy? Now that looks like a retaliator. That's just spinning out of control. Okay, like I said at the very beginning of the show, I'm going to Grim Hex. Mainly just because I haven't been there in a long time.
Initiated.
I noticed some people are jumping into the stream, but nobody's saying anything, and that is perfectly fine. If you guys are being shy and you don't want to say anything, I am going to continue to... Whoa! Okay, that's alive. Okay. Yeah, but if you do say something, I'll try to respond to you, okay? Now, I've lowered my FPS deliberately. I put it at the same level that movies traditionally film their FPS at. Does it look crazy? Does it look whacked out on the screen or what? Let me know if you guys are watching. Because I'm sitting, believe it or not, I put it at 24 FPS. I did that on purpose. Alright, so we got to fly through these asteroids to get to the far side of this moon so we can get to Grim Hex. So basically, it's just, I'm going to be sitting here just staring at the screen. Hopefully I don't run into an asteroid, but it's got to keep my eyes open. But if you want to say anything, please do. If you want to just watch, that's fine too. If you got any comments, please put them in the chat. Otherwise, enjoy the show. Unfortunately, there's just nothing going on right this minute. And my FPS did drop to 15, which sucks. Yeah, I can't wait till some of the optimizations that's going to be coming out in the 3 series, you know, the 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, because they're going to be optimizing the different cores that you're using. They're going to be optimizing the network code that the internet uses, that we use through the internet to communicate where we're at and what we're seeing. But I think more importantly, I don't really care about that as much as I care about them optimizing my cores in my game, in my computer, because I've got my internet's 250 megs up and down, so I'm straight on the internet speed. If you speed that up, that's good. But what's the problem is? What the problem is? It's a failure to communicate. No, it's the CPU usage by this game is extremely high. Extremely high. And if I stream, it's okay. Like when I'm not streaming, it runs actually pretty well. I get like 25 FPS, which I'm usually pretty happy with. But when I'm streaming, my FPS is halved. Usually it halves my FPS. Half. So how's everybody doing this afternoon, this evening, this morning, wherever, depending on where you're from? Yeah, I dropped an invite to Whatchamadoolies. Hopefully, you know, I should pull up. I'm in the clear right here. What I should probably do is check to see the website and see if he has collected. Nope. Hey, Justin, what's going on, man? You're on vacation, huh? Vacation from reality? No. Vacation from school? Vacation from work? Okay, these guys are talking gibberish on the computer, not on the game, not on the chat. Yeah, I've got 3 chats open right now. I've got the in-game chat, which you're looking at right there on the screen with Johnny Vane in them, and then I've got Justin over here at the beach from school. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's about that time, huh? People are graduated and moving on between semesters and stuff like that. My son's still in school, but he's going every semester. Get it all knocked out. And I got my Discord chat open, which nothing's going on Discord. It's almost dead. Got some people playing, but they're not saying anything. Got quiet all of a sudden. It's almost like space is quiet. Where's my helmet? Where is my helmet? Okay, so that's a LOD issue, which is the level of detail. Because I bet you if I zoom in or zoom out, the helmet will just appear. Or did I take the helmet off to get in the ship? I don't think I did. Okay, let's see if I do this. Hold that down and... Whoa, maybe I got a little bit too close. There's my helmet. Oh, right. Yep. There's my helmet. Finally, I have it. Just took a moment to load. Okay, let's get back into my cockpit area because that's not where I need to be. I don't need to be going above the thing. The deal. I need to be going, I think, about this way. I'm just kind of guessing. I might be needing, whoa, sucker. Might be needing to go towards that cloud, but I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, you know what? I updated my graphics card. Oh, what do you got, an RX 580? Oh my gosh. No, 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 no. You're going to get a 580. Okay. Yeah, 580 should be okay. They should be all right. But 1070, 1080, man, that's the way to go. And if you want to invest about $400, then go 1080 Ti. But right now, I'm telling you, I wouldn't worry about your graphics card so much right now. Yeah, if you got an old graphics card and you can't play any games at all, you know, if you struggle playing Sims, you know, then you might need to get a new graphics card. But, you know, you have problems playing Minecraft, okay. But if you have, but if you got a fairly decent graphics card, excuse me, you're still going to experience all kinds of lag and stutter and frame drops and all that stuff. You're still going to experience that in Star Citizen, because Star Citizen currently is using CPU, which is your processor, for all of its processing. It doesn't even touch the graphics card. When they optimize everything for the CPU and then they optimize it for the graphics card, then the graphics card will become important. But right now, the CPU is the most important thing. Now, if you're on like an old generation i3 or Pentium, then I would say, you know, you need to get that squared away, because that's okay. But if you're on a new generation i5 or i7, then you're probably all right. Yeah, i5 6500. Yeah, you're probably okay then. You're probably okay with the CPU. But your graphics card is probably just so old that everything is struggling. But also, don't forget your internet speed. I don't know who your internet is, but if it's not cable or fiber, then you're not going to be going fast enough. If you're on DSL or wireless, if you're even trying to play wireless, you're going to have bad frame rates. You got to be hardline plugged into your router. What am I doing? I'm pressing the wrong button. I'm going to that big clump of rocks right there, even though I don't think that's where it's at. But it might be. Because I want that planet to be half covered by the moon. Once that happens, then I know I'm there. We're going 6:45. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not an expert by any stretch of the means. Even though I work, I sell computers and graphics cards every day at work. That's what I do. I get training like monthly on the new graphics cards, new processors, you know, what the new memory types and all that stuff. You know, I actually get official training from the manufacturers and from my place of business every month. And so I'm pretty on top of what the systems can do, but then I am only going based on what I've been told from the developers or whatever, how Star Citizen interacts with those processors and graphics cards and things like that. And they don't really talk about that. They talk about like cool ships and aliens and languages. They don't really tell you anything about your processor, your memory, your graphics card needs. That's on the website, but it's like 4 years old. They talk about having a 460 or something like that. Oh, a GTX NVIDIA 460. No, I don't know what they're talking about. Okay, I see a red flashing light. That might be it. We're going to slow down a little bit. We're going to kind of go this way, but I want to turn my back, see if the planet is half covered. It is more than half covered. Okay. So I bet you it's over this way a little bit. It's probably in that clump of rocks. Let's give it some gas. To me, I find it kind of embarrassing that the 460 and the 480 came out, and then within less than a year, they came out with the 580. Yeah, that's messed up. That means the 580 was in development when they started selling the 480. Yep, I'm in the right plot. I'm in the right place. This is Grimhex. Boom, strike it. Okay, I'm there.
Contact.
What? I don't care. Who is this? It says Archer or something. Richter. Riker. Slow down. I'm going turbo speed. Slow this ass. Slow. Now don't go to 0. Jeez. Got some sparks flying. What they need is a mission to go to Grimhex. It's like, go to Grimhex and kill everyone. No, that wouldn't be a good mission. Well, it would be a good mission, but for the pirates. Go to Grimhex and click on this little clicky blinky thing and then bring it back to Port Olisar. That would be cool. Go to Grimhex and read the datapad in the bar. It looks good.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing gear deployed. I'm gonna land in the dark. Okay, we're back up. Now, whether or not we're up is another story. I'm going to keep my eyes on the chat and see. There, it looks like we're back up. Where'd my ship go? Oh, there it is. There's a scope. All right, we are at Grimhex, guys. Sorry about that. My stream just said done. I was getting some drop frames, but I don't know what was going on with that. And this is the door. Nope. That bent little thing there. A couple of them. It's like somebody really heavy was walking down these stairs. Like maybe one of those Titan armors. Did I just throw a grenade? Woo-wee! And now I got black screen. I guess I don't see a light. Okay, there you go. Oops. After all that, after flying all, okay, screw Grimhex, I ain't going there. Okay. Damn Grimhex. I guess I'm gonna do some money and do some money? Go some money. Do some ICC missions and earn some money. There we go. That's what I meant to say. Oh my gosh. Damn grenade.
Welcome to the Port Olisar ship deck. Please press the screen to continue.
Yeah, it's gonna let me take my saber. Nice. I have 14,000 AUC. They could just say UEC. It's fine. We already know it's alpha. They don't have to, they don't have to say, hey, UEC. I guess they think legally they have to say that for some reason. I don't know why. Just say it's UEC. Who cares? We know we're in alpha and you're gonna reset it. They could call it funny money if they wanted. They can call it whatever they freaking want. But if they call it AUEC, it's like, I don't know. They should just call it UEC. That way they don't have to change the screens in the future. But I guess it might be something easy they can change. So you never know. The easy stuff is usually what breaks stuff. I do. I use a keyboard and mouse.
Aegis combat assist activated.
I used to use a HOTAS. I hated it.
Green. Launch complete. Landing gear retracted. Quantum travel initiated.
Quantum travel. I don't use dual stick. I use mouse and keyboard. And the main reason why, I've had this conversation with, like, I don't know, 20 different people.
Tessa to random ship.
If you got a joystick, okay, I'm putting my hands up here so you can see. If I have a joystick
Welcome to the
and a
neighborhood.
throttle, right? I got a throttle, I got a joystick. And I'm playing the game. I land. I gotta shut up, Tessa. You're interrupting me.
These little guys see. I see.
Tessa, mute. Tessa,
This
mute.
means I can totally see you right now.
Mute. Tessa, be quiet.
Anyway, there was actually a reason to why I commed. I'm
Finally.
sort of not allowed to leave my post. Important jump point scanning and all. So I was hoping you might be able to help me with something. If you have
Sure.
a second, could you check out these coordinates?
Yeah.
The scans are saying something's there, but can't ID it.
Yeah. That's what they all say.
Quantum travel.
Okay, so if I got the joystick and I got the throttle, and I'm flying along, I'm dogfighting, I'm having a good old time. I land. I land at a spaceport, I land at a shopping hub, I land to get cargo, I land to do exploring, I land in the middle of a hot LZ or whatever, I land. I have to take my joystick and my HOTAS and I have to move them. Then I have to reach forward and find my mouse and keyboard and pull them to me. Then I have to get in position with my mouse and keyboard to be able to engage in a firefight or just walk around a city. And then once I decide that I'm going to get back in my ship, I walk up to the ship, I click it, and then I have to push the mouse and keyboard out of my way, grab the HOTAS and throttle, pull it back into my center, and go. Yes, now I understood I could have my throttle way out, or my joystick way out here, my throttle way out here, but then I'd be playing like a gorilla, and that's not me. Or I'd have them mounted on some kind of swivel things on my chair, and then, no, I ain't doing all that. I'm playing with a mouse and keyboard so that when I get in and out of my ship, I will have my mouse and keyboard when I'm in the ship, when I'm out of the ship, when I'm navigating a menu on a shopping hub, or when I'm EVA in the air, I'll be using my mouse and keyboard. When I pull my gun out and I'm shooting my gun, I'm using mouse and keyboard. That way I don't have to worry about switching and going like this all the time, because I'm the kind of player that will land, get out of the ship, do something, run back to the ship, get in, fly somewhere, get out of the ship, land somewhere, and it'll be bop, 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 bop. Every 10 minutes I'll be switching. My arms will be so tired after an hour of gameplay. No, I ain't doing it. I tried it for a little while because I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I said, you know what, I'm going to get me a HOTAS, I'm going to get me a Rhino, and I'm going to sit over here and I'm going to fly and da 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 da. I'll be part of the joystick master race. No. Sorry. I just went off on the left curve. But no, I will not do that. I will stay mouse and keyboard. Then I know there's people. There's the joystick master race out there that said, well, and this is a discussion that I had like 2 years ago or whatever it was, when they took the gimbals and they nerfed the gimbals. I get it. I understand why they did it, and I'm okay with it because it's across the board. It affects everybody. It didn't just affect me, but I felt like it did because I was a gimbal-heavy person. I would always use gimbals. Why? Because I use a mouse and keyboard, right? So I'm flying, I'm pointing my guns, and I'm shooting, and guys with joysticks can't do that, right? They have to actually point their ship where they're shooting. So what did they do? They got onto the forums and they said, you really got to balance this mouse thing. This mouse is overpowered. You're going to have to make joysticks better, or you're going to have to penalize the mouse users. Okay. Here's my argument to those guys. And to everyone, you know, this is just my belief. This is my philosophy. If I'm playing a game, not Star Citizen, any game. If I'm playing a game and I have the option to play with a joystick, play with a gamepad, play with a mouse and keyboard, play with my cock, whatever, right? If I've got the option to play with whatever, that's my choice. The game company made those, maybe one stronger than the other. That's not their responsibility. That's not the game company's responsibility to make a mouse weak and a joystick strong. That's not their responsibility. The responsibility is, if it's my decision to decide if I want to use a joystick or a mouse. Okay, back in the day when the mouse was kind of powerful, and I'm being honest, if you wanted to use a joystick, that was your business. You could decide to use a joystick or not. You didn't have to use a joystick. You chose to use a joystick because you said it was immersive. It's more realistic. That's your choice. You know, and so what they did was there was a vocal minority, I don't know, 5 guys got on there and they complained about it. And CIG said, man, we're doing everything in our power to make everyone happy, so we'll have to do something. But having said that, I don't like their argument, but I like the way CIG handled it. Because you can still have gimbals, you can still fly with a mouse and keyboard, it's still okay. But they hurt the gimbals now, because in the original days, if I had a size 3 weapon mount, I could have a fixed size 3 gun, or I could slap a size 3 gimbal on there and gimbal a size 3 gun. So then it was a 1-to-1 ratio. I mean, if I had 3s, I had 3s. Period. And now they say if you slap a size 3 gimbal on there, it can only mount a size 2 gun. And that's okay. I mean, I dig it. My FPS is low. Wow. I can't believe I actually got a hit.
Shields recharging.
I do have 16 missiles. I could use a few of them.
Missile locked.
Was it?
You had your chance to run. You didn't.
Missile lock.
You messed up now, Scav.
Is he calling me a scavenger?
Hold still.
System overheating.
Throwing down against nine tails is never a good idea.
Kill.
Is there another ship?
Bomb.
Alright, sorry, you touched on a very sensitive subject for me. Sorry about that. I'm passionate about the mouse and keyboard versus the HOTAS. I don't think one is more powerful than the other. They both have their own advantages. Because I think a HOTAS and a throttle, I thought when I was using it that I had a lot more control over my flying. Like I could fly, you know, through the slaloms. I could do the racing a lot better. I'd have more control over my speed and my turning and my twisting and all that. I thought it was a really good flying tool. But when it came to dogfighting, because I used gimbaled weapons, I thought the mouse was a better tool for dogfighting. But I don't fly worth a darn. I can shoot straight and I can hit things, but it doesn't mean I'm flying very well. You know what I'm saying? So it was, to me, it was already balanced. One was they both had their advantages, but then CIG nerfed the gimbals, making joysticks. Not only do they fly better, but it almost encourages people. It encourages people to put fixed guns on their ship, because that way they can have the same size guns as those guys that are flying with joysticks. And if you put a gimbal on your gun, now you're reducing the size potential, right? So you're putting out less damage, but more accurately. And so it encouraged people that could fly and put their nose on target, like the joystick players. It gave them an advantage of doing more damage when they do that. And it's okay that they did that. I don't have any problem with that. I had a problem with the guys complaining. I didn't have a problem with them fixing it or changing it, because they did a really good job and they made a really good choice on how they were going to try to help fix the issue between the joystick and the game. Now the gamepad still sucks. I don't hear all the gamepad players say, "Man, my gamepad sucks so bad. How come these joystick players are so much better?" You don't hear that from gamepad players. You only heard that from joystick players. You didn't hear a mouse player say, "Man, the joystick flies so much better than a mouse, man. They're going to have to nerf the joystick because the mouse can't fly as good." You didn't hear that. You only heard it from the joystick players. And my point is, to use a joystick or not to use a joystick is the player's choice.
To those who find this, know that
If
my
you think
journey
it's bad,
ended.
don't use it.
It was finding my way here that made the path worth taking.
But I want to use the joystick.
I am
Well, then use
glad
it.
to be part of your story too. Share it well.
Sorry.
Safe travels.
All right, enough about that. I've talked about that like 100 times on this channel. So now it's 101.
Here. Appreciate you looking into that scan for me. Between me and you, I had been hoping we might discover a new life form, like a sentient rock or something. But what you found was pretty neat too.
Activated. Systems green.
I can fly backwards faster than I can forward. You know what's up with that? Where's my ICC probe? Ah, there you are. I don't know what that sound is I'm hearing. Once we clear this asteroid, I'm gonna zap to it.
Quantum travel initiated.
And I think it's exciting that people can use 2 sticks, 2 mice, foot pedals, joystick and mouse, you know, 2 keyboards,
Repeat visit.
you know,
I should probably be less impressed by that, shouldn't I?
track IR, whatever.
Question for
I
you.
think it's all
This
good.
sounds serious,
But
right?
that's up to the player to decide which peripheral he wants to use.
It's coming from these coordinates. You should help if you can.
Yeah, she sounds like she needs my help.
Quantum travel initiated.
Yeah, so what do we got? We're on the 8th right now, right? So in about 3 weeks it should hit the PTU, right? So I think it's hitting Evocati sometime this next week, right? 3.0. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. I'm usually in the PTU, but in like the first wave, usually. But, or second wave. I guess they call the first wave the Evocati. I'm not an Evocati. So maybe the second week. I super can't wait. And it's not because I'm eager to get in and test. That just comes naturally. I'm testing right now. If something happens that I don't like or think is whack, I'll get on the issue council. I'll report it. And that's probably why I'm in the PTU usually. Because, and I won't report stupid stuff like, oh, this rock was like, you know, spinning left when I know it's supposed to be spinning right. No, I don't do that. But if I see something like way out of whack, like when you're walking, you're floating 2 inches off the ground or something like that.
Mayday, we are under attack. Please help.
I'm coming. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Contact.
Do yourself a favor and turn.
No, I won't. Ooh, this guy's got some big guns. You hear that? He's got the Omni Skies.
Take your jobs a lot more seriously than I would have thought.
Saw that lag, huh? Lag spike.
Shields recharging.
Yay.
Shields up.
Big mistake.
Another lag spike.
Shields recharging.
No, of course I didn't.
Shields
I can't even get the mouse to point at the dude, man. Something's not right.
up.
You messed up now, Scan. Hold still.
System overheat. Shields up. Missile lock.
Really?
Recharging.
Throwing down against nine tails is never a good idea. I'm gonna show you why.
Shields recharging.
You're dead.
I got 20 FPS, so I should be doing okay. My ship is yellow.
God, I love it when people try to be heroes.
Overheating. Shields recharging.
No! Hey, that's the wrong button! That's the wrong button! Idiot! I just got on my seat right in the middle of a dogfight. Man, this damn mouse and keyboard! Wish I was using a joystick. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. 3.1 is probably going to be like 3 months after, maybe 4 months after 3.0 drops. If you want, I can pull up the list and we'll take a look. How about that? Because I'm excited to look myself. So I'm going to quit this. We're going to go to my mouse. There we go. Come on, mouse. What the hell? Where you at? There you are. There we go. Ignore all that. That ain't it. Yeah, I thought it was under this. Oh, that's old stuff. Yeah, that's super old. Okay. Just go with all. Make it happen. I did just put it on all, didn't I? Maybe I didn't do this. Around the verse is out. Okay. Might have to stop and go watch that real quick. Give me a second. Right at the beginning of the month. Might have been the monthly studio report. There's something about a Jira or shotgun or something. I had it saved on a favorite, but I deleted it recently because I wasn't keeping track of it. And I guess I deleted it just maybe 1 week too early. I thought it was a monthly report. Maybe it wasn't. Road ahead, maybe? I wouldn't think that's it. Maybe it is. Yep, this might be it. That ain't it. Those are just telling me where I get those. I don't want that. Where's the production schedule? Yeah, last update was June 2nd, I know, but yeah, those are the tools. But there should be a link to take me to that. Not to sell me that. Fudge. Yeah, I thought it was like right here. I thought there was a link. Maybe it's at the bottom. Yeah, the 3.0 procedural planet updates and all that. Ah, okay. Well, this is good. This will work. Yeah, Evocati should be 6/12. That's like 4 days from now. And then PTU 3.0 aim date is June 23rd. Released to the public somewhere. Whoa. Released to the public somewhere between 7/6 and 7/20. But if there's an extended list somewhere where it talks about 3.1 and 3.2 and all that, it looks just like this except it's bigger. It's a Excel spreadsheet. Maybe it's at the bottom. 3.1 goals. Here, click here to download. I think that was it. Yep, I think that's it. Beep. Okay, here we go. That's it right there. Sorry, it took me for. Whoa, what happened to my live stream? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Yeah, let me move this. There we go. Sorry, guys. Okay, is this focused? No. Let's zoom in. There we go. We can actually see the words now. Scroll to the top. Okay, and it talks about like what they've been doing for the year. You know, the shoulder weapons, the GPU, and all that. And we're in June. So this is where we're at, right in this area. June 12th is a holographic shader. June 12th to the, so they're going to be working on all that. And there's item 2.0 airlocks, version 2. The stamina system looks like it's finished. It was finished on the 31st. Pickup and carry is going to be finished on the 12th because they're going to put that into 3.0. But after June, July, we're talking about going into 8, 8/28. That's spawn bundles and NPC generation and breaching, criminality, ship-to-ship refueling, overheating. So yeah, this is all in that list. Cargo version 2. We're going to get cargo version 1 up here, but armor components, patrol mission, somewhere over the rainbow. Okay, this is all ship stuff, yellows. The blue is all like FPS weapons. Yeah. Mobi-Glass overhaul. Object container streaming. Yeah, so there's a lot of cool things going on. This says item 2.0. Okay, let me scroll over to the right a little bit. Whoa, what happened? Yeah, this was updated June 2nd, and this is only the 8th. So, yeah, this is a spreadsheet you can go in and look at from time to time. Crusader is going to be worked. Hurston is going to be finished by maybe, is going to be worked on in August. Crusader is going to start being worked on in September. Microtech's not going to be started to work on until November. The Carrack's not going to start to be worked on until November. And it won't be finished till, it says 5/8, but I bet it's June next year. So I got to wait a year to get my Carrack. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. But hopefully they'll be able to keep me plasma beam modulator sets. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. I got excited about plasma. I'm an old Traveler fan. Cooperative avoidance, whatever that means. Smuggling missions. All the stuff is what they're going to be working on. And this is blue is AI, so like mission givers, cooperative avoidance. I'm not sure what that means. Piracy missions, version 1 and version 2. But you notice how version 1 of piracy missions, they're not going to start working on it until 3.0 comes out. So 3.0 will come out, and then they'll start working on piracy. And that'll probably be hidden. I'm looking right in this area. Notice how a lot of things are finishing and starting at this point in time. That's when I bet 3.1 is coming out. That's probably when 3.1 will come out. And then over here is probably when 3.2 will come out in November. Yeah, so about every 3 months. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to call it quits here on you, and I apologize for that. But I am going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the stream, what do you call it? The what's it called? Around the Verse. I'm going to watch it. If you want to stick around and watch it with me, you're more than welcome to do that. But that's what I'm going to do. Let's see what they've got to say.
Hello and welcome.
Oh my gosh, it's not centered. Sorry.
Look at the development of Star Citizen. I'm Sandy Gardner.
And I'm Chris Roberts.
It is great to have you back in the LA office, Chris.
Yes, it's back. Got a little bit of jet lag, but I just returned from about a month over in Europe at our Foundry 42 offices in Germany and the UK. And it was good to sit down with both teams to work through the various aspects of 3.0 and Squadron 42, which we're very hard at work on.
You can find out exactly what all of our offices have been up to by reading May's monthly report, which we're releasing tomorrow.
Yeah, and to tide you over until then, here's Nick Elms with an update from our UK office, which I think you'll enjoy.
Hi everyone, my name is Nick Elms, and I'm the Creative Director here at Foundry 42 in the Wilmslow office in the UK. Erin is on holiday this week, so it's up to me to give you this month's studio update. As you would imagine, the Wilmslow office is still a hive of activity with tasks, bugs and features all being worked on for both Squadron 42 and 3.0. Let's start with the ongoing sprints. With the air traffic controller sprint, the initial groundwork has now been completed and we're moving on to more of the functionality, including communicating with the ATC. From your cockpit, when you want to land, you now target the station using the player interaction system. Select the option to request a landing, then you'll be given the start of a communications channel with the NPC to have a dialogue with them. We are currently in the process of implementing this in real-world cases. So for example, in our PU map, we are setting up at Port Olisar, so both requesting your ship as well as landing will all go through the ATC. As part of the push to make Star Citizen more accessible, we're introducing a new hint system to make the initial learning curve lower for new players.
Oh,
As the
hint
player
system.
begins their first steps into
That
the
looks
Star
cool.
Citizen universe, various hints will get displayed on the UI, giving feedback on how to interact with the different systems. Whether it's entering the proximity of the ASOP terminal or letting them know about a mobi-glass feature after a given amount of time. For 3.0, we're changing how the player spawns into the level. Currently, this is done by spawn points, so each bedroom in the PU map has its own spawn point and then some flow graph logic to position them correctly in the bed and play the correct animation. As you will imagine, with the number of spawn locations in the PU, this is adding up to a lot of flow graph and setup. Going forwards, we're creating a new spawn component which can be added to any entity. For example, if this component is added to a bed, we will then
Yeah, why
ensure
don't you
the
just
player
spawn
will
them
need to
standing there?
attach correctly to it and play the normal lie down, idle animation automatically. This now means that we can remove a large amount of flow graph and simplify the setup of the level. Work is continuing for the missions on 3.0 with the progress on the implementation of the mission broker and mission manager. These will determine how a mission and all its objectives are presented to and given to the player to complete. They will also be tracking.
Oh, I notice how the
missions a
mobi
player
glass was around their
already has
wrist now.
and how far through the objectives they are. In the AI locomotion sprint, we are spending time refining the way the AI walks and runs around a level. We have found that just following a path, which is determined by the pathfinding code, gives a result which looks very unnatural. We've now implemented a new path smoothing algorithm which makes AI traversal around corners in a much more natural way, so it doesn't look like they're going from one point to the next. Because they're generally moving to get to a particular place, we're currently working on making reaching that point and going into whatever animation is required be as seamless as possible. The graphics team have been wrapping up and bug fixing the major features mentioned in our last update, such as lit fog, real-time environment probes for planet lighting, and render-to-texture work for holograms and video comms. In addition, they've made some tweaks to our lighting model to improve the appearance of ground reflections of the sun on planets at sunset and sunrise. The UK animation teams continue to work on the FPS weapons, with the previous complete for the new Gemini L86 ballistic pistol.
That looks pretty cool.
Arrowhead is now close to final, with just some minor polish
Oh.
work left on the reload states. The takedowns have gone from an implementation pass to a more refined animation pass, with concentration
Oh!
on a stronger composition, solid posing, clear silhouettes, and polish to the motion
Oh!
to better sell the overall action. The
They-
AI animation work is ongoing, with improvements to posing of enemy patrol states and reactions to sight and sound. The team are also helping to export the remaining gameplay story cinematic scenes, so that design can implement and better visualize the story within the levels they're working on. The Derby animation team are finishing off the facial animations for the 3.0 mission givers, and Eckhart's body animation is being polished and implemented too. Last week, some of the team attended a PU audio and facial shoot in London. They captured some awesome footage from some great actors, and we think it will go a long way to fleshing out the universe. The VFX team have continued tests with the new lighting entity,
Nice.
this time focusing on smaller scale interior electrical effects. They have also been testing the features in the new particle system as provided by the graphics team, including better trail options and depth buffer based collision required for sparks.
Okay.
The first Levski exterior VFX pass is underway, including refinery.
You got the sparks in the Starfares in yellow. Oh, look at the fire.
The new Cutlass flight-ready VFX, including interior damage and thruster effects, are now done. Work has continued on the atmospheric flight effects sprint, with heavy focus on playtesting, bug fixing, and testing new features as provided by the graphics and engineering teams. The ongoing polish for the VFX for the new weapons
Yeah, look at
and
the
reworked
stars.
versions is continuing up to the 3.0 release. On the art
That's
side,
cool.
the Origin 600i concept process has now finished, and we're really looking forward to seeing what you guys think. It's one sleek ship. The next ground vehicle has been rocking along, and we're just about to kick off a whole new round of ships. On the ship weapons front, we've taken the Klaus and Werner styling from the FPS weapons and used that to influence the work on the Klaus and Werner laser repeater. On the other end of the spectrum, we're looking at some
Ooh.
cool-looking Maxox neutron repeaters. The art team has also been hammering away at further Schuben mining station interiors, working out a few more areas to improve on for its believability. This is done by zeroing in on the functionality of the areas. Work has also continued on providing further infrastructure to the habitation pods, including comms arrays, water collectors, and small deployable communication units. Our space scenes have been getting a major
The water
facelift
collector is a
with the
urinal.
3.0 release. We've been very busy adding large volumes of interplanetary space dust within the Stanton system. Adding texture and visual interest to our space overworld has been a big priority for the 3.0 release. As part of this sprint, we've reworked some of the distant nebula in the Stanton system, but there's still lots more to come. We've been working on large-scale nebula rendering techniques using the Pyro system as a test case. These techniques will help us create our interstellar scale nebula. Also, for Squadron 42, we're exploring the look and feel of the coil, which plays a major role in the first campaign. We're
The
using
coil?
powerful fluid simulations to help us achieve this look. Any work we undertake on improving the space for 3.0, as always, is a great benefit. for
The
Squadron
coil?
42. Work is ongoing for the truck stop station materials. This includes finalising the panel shapes, adding some hue and gloss variation, and elements of wear and tear and dirt. The unclad frames are also being finalised with structural elements surrounding the machinery and high-frequency detail. We are continuing to work on the solar panels, trying different ideas out, and getting them to a stage where they gel well with the rest of the truck stop. The rest of the truck stop team are finalising the main hull pieces before proceeding to the front and back sections of the station. Special consideration is being made to ensure all pieces of work, as well as the modular set, don't look visually repetitive. Detailing areas around the landing pad is ongoing, and this includes adding more visual complexity to the back of the landing pad, as well as the borders around the edge of the pad. In relation to the surface outposts, more of the archetypal outposts have had a dressing and the lighting pass. This includes an emergency shelter, which can be found dotted around the moons as a place for crash pilots to take refuge. Also, an illegal drug lab, which may or may not be on one of the moons. Planet integration materials for the outpost exterior have been tested and tweaked for sand and ice biomes. This determines the amount of dirt buildup that can vary for each biome and can be adjusted for each outpost for variation. Branding prototyping has been explored for procedural locations, with the Rayari brand as a test case. This includes the main logos and text, along with the secondary logos, indents, lines and signage. This would procedurally swap brands depending on who owns the outpost. With regards to the ship team, the reclaimer work has been completed on the drone room. We were keen to focus on the drone deployment and storage mechanism, as we're excited to see this become functional when drones come online. The engine room has also been completed, making use of repurposed assets from the Idris. All reused assets go through the process of reskinning with reclaimer materials to make everything feel consistent and cohesive. The exterior damage setup is nearing completion, with internal geometry being built to be exposed when the ship takes damage. Work on the derelict ships and wreckage elements are coming to an end for the initial batch, and support is now in place for design to create mission scenarios based on derelict ships in space or on planets. The material variations of each ship have been created so that depending on which planet the ships are placed on, they will look visually embedded to the surface type.
That looks cool. Oh, Con, you didn't make it. Oh, and look at the particles flying into the hole. Broken chair. Yeah, they're doing
All that's
good.
remaining
Good work.
for this phase are the technical elements such as LODs, vis areas and collisions. The Gladius cockpit has been revamped and relit for the new cockpit experience sprint. This has been an exercise in improving the player's feeling of immersion and has been a collaboration between several departments. On the art side, it has been achieved by clearing a channel between the top support screens to reveal the Gatling gun on the nose, and making a range of interactive buttons for more interesting animations, and remodelling the throttle for improved functionality. The cockpit canopy has been extended for a better clarity, and new interior lighting has been added to help bring it all to life. the Hull C exterior, work is currently being done on finishing the landing gear mechanisms and detailing the inner bay areas, while we create the initial animations and work towards a final art. The front section of the interior is now modelling complete and is getting a detailed lighting
That's the Hull
system
C?
using new light groups controller. Once this is complete, the tunnel section and rear
What's he up
engine
to?
room will be modelled and lit in the same fashion.
All right. Told a little story there. Love
The
it.
live design team are ploughing ahead with content for the PU, and they've made sure to spend a bit of time giving much needed love to some of the existing Arena Commander and Star Marine maps. Dying Star has received a new lease of life with the addition of procedural asteroids, which give a much more cinematic dogfighting experience. Both of the Star Marine maps have received a number of balancing changes based on feedback from the community. In Echo 11, we've made some adjustments to the capture points, and in Last Stand and Damien, we've added a sneaky new EVA route from the Marine Spawn Zone to Landing Pad B. On the UI front, we've been busy chipping away at all the various features that are making their way into the new Mobiglass. We've made progress on getting the home screen fully functional and displaying elements of the actor status, atmospheric readouts, suit status readouts, as well as personal overview. We've also got player loadout management working as an app in Mobiglass. This
Nice.
can easily carry over to handle ship loadout customization as well, as is currently in the Arena Commander front-end menu. We're also working to get the Mobiglass UI in general to be projected using the new render-to-texture tech, which will make the UI look much more properly integrated within the game world. Work has continued on designing and implementing the upcoming character customization menu on the front end, which will be included in 3.0. From here, players will be able to create and customize their various characters in the PU, obviously depending on how many character slots that player has. Initially, the level of customization will be
look at that
limited,
armor.
but it will be expanded in the future to provide much more granular control of characters' features. The audio team has been working on several features for the 3.0 release. These include the procedural planet ambience system, which is designed to place appropriate sounds around the player dynamically as they traverse planetary bodies.
That's cool.
We've also been refining the approach on how we produce ship armaments and first-person weapon audio, further ensuring they are satisfying for the player while reflecting player-driven modifications and customization.
This example I'm going to show you today is for the bearing size 2
I like your
laser
shirt.
cannon. We've basically changed the sound to a kind of new, more exciting,
And he's in atmosphere.
using our new system, which I'll explain. So this is what the new sound is like. So as you can hear, it's basically, a lot bigger, a lot punchier, a lot more kind of pronounced.
The audio team has been producing sound schemes for the different kinds of diegetic user interfaces that will feature in 3.0, including the kiosks. The audio direction of these vary to suit their tech level, and
I missed
this
it.
presents some great opportunities to reinforce
Cool. Grimhex trading.
Preparations
That's
began
old.
for a Foley session at Pinewood Studios to ensure audio coverage for character clothing and armour, and content to extend the footstep system further. Progress has also been made on the foundational audio tech such as dynamic bank loading, the actor status system, the audio propagation system, and music logic system, as well as content production for derelict ships, bespoke 3.0 location sound design, ship damage effects, audio support, ship improvements, and more besides. We're really excited about all the new content and gameplay that 3.0 will bring, and as you can see from what's been going on here, we're getting closer every day. All that remains for the UK update is to send out a massive thank you to you, our backers, without which we would not be able to put together this amazing game. See you in the verse.
Placing procedural asteroids into Arena Commander should add a fun new wrinkle to dogfighting.
Yeah, no, it's actually great to see the new technology we've been building with 3.0 and beyond make all the aspects of the game better and handsome. And also, it's also cool to see a lot of the new stuff that we're working on that was in the report, like the space, the space wrecks on the moons, and we'll have them out in space. It'll be really kind of fun to discover and explore.
Very cool. One of the biggest upgrades coming to the game is Item 2.0. On last week's episode, we used ships to explore how this system opens a whole new world of possibilities for Star Citizen.
Yeah, that's right. So when it comes to ships, it allows for swappable components, ties into the new interaction system, and even upgrades the seats and cockpit displays, making the aspect of flying and controlling or using a ship much more tactile and visceral, which has been the sort of goal of Star Citizen since the beginning.
For more on this, here's part 2 of our feature on how Item 2.0 is changing the way you'll play the game.
Last week we spoke about the incredibly important migration of all our ships to the Item 2.0 tech. Today I want to describe some of the challenges we faced. We had these seats, and the seats are pretty nifty. They allow you to enter, exit, and do some basic things. But they're only for vehicles. They're part of the vehicle logic. So one of the stepping stones before we got to 2.0 was to turn that seat into more of a generic system. It was kind of like the in-between the vehicle and then the 2.0 system. And what that allowed us to do was to separate these seats into individual items to do, your enter, exit. So we started porting stuff over to that system, and we came across some problems that the original system solved, but the new system didn't. Say we have a single-seater fighter, and we need to open up the canopy and then the ladder, and then you walk up and you enter it. Now with the original vehicle seats, you could do that. There are these things called post-actions and I think pre-actions. Basically, we play an animation to open those gateways, and then the player can enter the entrance and then everything can close. Problem is with that 1.0, the new seats, is you couldn't actually talk to the vehicle to play those things, but you could play an animation on itself. So these 1.0 seats were mostly used for things like the multi-crew ships, where you didn't have to play those animations on the ship. You just needed to play it on the seats. So you needed, like the Retaliator has this dashboard, so you interact with it and do stuff. That was all separated out of the vehicle. But if you needed to still play those animations on the vehicle, you had to go back to the vehicle seats. So what that led us to do is now we have 2 different seats. They solve 2 different problems, and what we wanted to do was remove these 2 seats and go with the 2.0 version that solved both of these issues. What we had to come up with was we needed a seat and this thing called a seat dashboard, and then the seat access. The seat is only responsible for just plopping the player down and giving him control. The seat by itself doesn't do anything. Then you have the dashboard. This is basically that infrastructure you see in front of you that shows the UI, shows this, shows the joysticks. Then you have the seat access, which dictated how you got into that seat. Now we could do all that, which is fine. However, we needed to break, as you can see, we now have 3 different items, where those other original things just had, like the vehicle seat just had it just on the ship. So now we have to break out all of these assets and put them into different items. We have to break out all of the animations into these different states. Yes, the system allows us to do a lot more. It allows us to do things that some of the animation team want to do, but because of the way the old vehicle seats and item seats were designed, we had to go back and revisit how we did those, change the art, change the whole process, take our animations, cut them up in different ways just to get them onto the 2.0 infrastructure. So it's like the stuff we wanted to do way back then, we couldn't do, so we kind of had to do some fakeroo. But because of that fakeroo, we had to go back, cut them up to how we actually wanted to do it finally, after, this is stuff we've been talking about with animation design for a long time. And it's just an extra step we have to do to move everything over. That's one of the reasons why it's taking a little bit. We actually have a big master plan of moving all the ships over, and it's like, all right, before we can move this guy over, we have to cut that animation up from here to here to here, move this here, move this here. Okay, does it work? And so we're doing that ship by ship by ship. And of course, all of our ships are very special snowflakes. They'll do something a little bit different here. So we have to, since we have a defined plan of how this new setup is going to work, we just have to figure out how that's going to get cut up correctly so that it works with the new infrastructure. One of the precautions we're now taking with all the new ships is learning the problems that we did in the past. of what this ship is doing wrong or different that's causing havoc. A very beautiful ship that's causing us some fun is the Gladiator. You have two seats on the top,
Right.
and then you have a bomb bay door on the bottom, and you have this line that has to come down to allow either one of them. The original thing wanted both the seats to come down. So if I'm piloting the ship and my co-pilot wanted to get out, I have to come out with him. Luckily, we were able to split that up so that a pipe comes down, then either one can come. But you still have the problem of that bomb bay door, because that's part of the landing system and the seat system, which is two different seats connections that don't know about each other. And the old system didn't really handle that too well. But now on 2.0, we're going, okay, you can't leave until that bomb bay is open. So we're gonna open that first, then you could come down, then the seats could go back up. So we have like systems in place, but ships are special cupcakes, and we're just gonna make sure that they work on this new flow. When we're splitting up the ship from moving the vehicle from being the seat to this kind of sub-hybrid thing called the 1.0 seats, we had this thing called seat host. And the seat host was basically trying to remove that bit of logic of seat from the ship to a generic thing. And it was like a very beginning sort of structure. It was kind of a weird mixture of things. The idea for that thing was so that vehicle, turret, generic stuff could use this, have seats. But because of that, a lot of things started using this thing called iSeat host. So you had things in the player code checking to see if you're attached to an iSeat host. You had things in UI checking to see if you're an iSeat host. So you had a lot of these embedded things checking for this thing called an iSeat host, which was horrible, but it was the only way to get stuff going until we separated these things into components. We now have to take those things that relied on the seat host and make them more into a more generic thing. One of the biggest challenges is going to be, of course, the UI. Things like the visor relied heavily on these seat host things to pull events, to pull information out of, these events would get dispatched when, I have my ship again, this guy starts firing, this guy's UI will listen to it, and it has to go, oh, I'm not the guy shooting, so I'm gonna ignore this block. But not everywhere did that. So you had the UI listening to all these crazy events, and it had to rely on this thing called a seat host. But if the seat host disappeared and didn't unregister, you'd crash and all
Seems like
sorts of
it's
problems.
too much work. They should just put it all into one.
For the UI, for the seats, where they relied on more of the item component themselves rather than the seat level. And what this allowed us to do was worry about just the item. So you would have a UI for power, it just relied on knowing about the power plant. It didn't care about the vehicle, didn't care about the player or what it was attached to. And the beauty of that is I could technically slap this onto a big vending machine.
At least now you know that that's the weapons and that's the engines.
But that was
The icons really help. Because sometimes I don't remember what G1, G2, G3 is.
One of the biggest overhauls we had to do, not just for UI, but in all the other sections of the code, and we're still dealing with it because we're at a point where we have to maintain both the item 1.0 and the item 2.0 until we could fully flip the switch saying 1.0 is not supported. So you have some UI with that seat host, some UI with just the power, and it's kind of that weird thing you're trying to deal with to not break the old until everything could get switched over to the new system. One of the other big architectural changes we've been working on is going back to the vehicle. If we had items on here, we had this thing called an event system that sent an event to the vehicle and that would dispatch it to everybody else. But since we want to get away with that event system, for one, everyone knows about it, and two, it was immediate and it was on the main thread. So what that meant is if I sent an event and I sent it to everybody, the main thread basically has to wait until everyone got it, they all did their update, and then everything happened instantaneous. So if radar picked up some enemy and he sent an event saying this thing was added, the UI would get it. We have to create all these resources just to display. A lot of things would happen when one event gets dispatched. This immediate called event system, we have this thing called a multi-threaded event system. And instead of everybody connecting to the vehicle's event system, they have their own and they can link to each other. So now if the UI wanted to know about radars getting, stuff appearing on the radar, it could listen to this thing called the radar data bank. And the radar data bank, when it picked up something from the radar would send an event to the data bank. The data bank wouldn't process it right then and there. It would process it in that batch update that I was talking about during its own time, pull the events out, do its thing, and handle that big load onto that thread. And then when it would do something, it would then dispatch events to other systems, and they would do the same very thing. So we've just offloaded this heavy system into batches. And it also allows us to guarantee that when this guy sent the event, the other guy would pull it down when he was ready, not immediately occurring. And with that nice event system, we could actually do some nifty things where we could actually localize those events. So before, as I was saying, we have the we separated the person who controls stuff from the actor to this thing called an item user. The item user has these main events, we call them input events, and he has an input and an output event system. He could get inputs from all sorts of things, and he could send off outputs.
He says he,
So
but
if
I think he's talking about an
he
item.
might go, oh, I need to turn on lights. He'll translate that to an out event system. He will dispatch to all the items they control, but they'll only pull it down when they're ready to. So the player hits a button, and maybe switch on light. The switch on light gets sent to an event. It finds the controllers that he controls, figures out, oh, this guy needs to have it. Cue this event. That light controller will pull the event down in its batch update. Go, okay, I need to turn on lights. So I'm gonna go through all my lights, send them an event saying, hey, go turn on. They'll go in their batch update and go, oh, I should be on or off. I'm gonna turn on, off, on, whatever button you hit. So now we've moved this thing that was a global thing on the vehicle. So I send an event here and everyone gets it, to a more localized system that all gets utilizing that batch update and the whole big infrastructure of our controllers and items. This other thing that we have with this Item 2.0 infrastructure, with their old system, with their vehicle, when I sat down in the seat, I would get control of weapons, items, and all that stuff, and each thing would kind of handle their own set of logic. I'm hitting the fire button to shoot, and then it would do its thing and shoot. We wanted to separate that into a much more coherent structure. So after talking with design, we came up with this new concept where you have the control manager, which is the ship, and then you have the user, and then the user connects to the control manager, and he controls these things called literally controllers. So you'd have a power controller, a light controller, a door controller. Basically, these are the things that have control of sub-items. So the controllers handle the input, and then they sell things to the items. I mean, an easy one, a power controller. So this power controller might have control of sub-power plants. It will talk to UI saying, here's all the power plants that you have. What do you want to do with them? So if I hit UI or maybe a button to throttle, it'll send an event to the controller. The controller will go, yes, you could do that. No, you can't do that. And it will then tell the items to do something. So now we have these sub-items that are really kind of dummy that handles very specific logic. Like power plant just needs to provide X amount of power. And then you have the energy controller that basically input from UI and input from the user, and it translates what you want to do to those sub-items. So we have these very specific things that handle I guess you'd call it the control hierarchy.
As Ash said in last week's episode, although it's a lot of work to implement this tech, it is a game changer in every sense of the word. Item 2.0 touches every facet of the game and will ultimately create a much more immersive interactive experience. Thanks for watching. Seacrest out.
Seacrest.
As you can see, Item 2.0 not only allows us to implement new features, but also streamline others. It's obviously a lot of work, but it'll provide a much more immersive experience, and which I like immersion. So.
Yes, you do. That's it for this episode of Around the Verse. Just a reminder that we'll be updating Spectrum tomorrow, so it'll be offline for about half an hour at 11 a.m. Pacific. And make sure to swing by after that to check out all of the new features.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. You can see threads with different view styles and all the rest of the stuff. And also don't forget, May's monthly report goes live tomorrow, along with another update to our production schedule.
Thanks, as always, to all of our subscribers whose continued support makes shows like this possible. Click on the link in the description if you want to learn how to become a subscriber yourself.
Yep, thank you to all subscribers. And of course, Star Citizen is a reality because of the amazing support we get from all backers. So thanks to everyone who's making the game possible.
We hope you enjoyed watching, and we will see you around the verse.
See, when you see a crashed ship like that, that just gives you more things to explore, to check out, to look around, make sure there's nothing hidden and find stuff. That's what I'm looking forward to in Star Citizen. It's all the little exploration nuggets. Alright guys, well that's it for me as well. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream right here. Got a chance to see around the verse.
Watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and bail on you guys right here. I'm going to go get something to drink. And later tonight, maybe in a couple hours, I'm going to be, I don't know if I'm going to live stream it or if I'm going to be recording it, but I've got a lot of Roman models that I need to put together for my Hail Caesar game. And once I get those Hail Caesar models started, that's going to be a project that's going to take me a couple of weeks to do. But I was thinking I was going to do a little bit of live streaming on that tonight. I might or might not. I don't know what I'm going to do. So I might just film it and then upload it later as a YouTube video and not a live stream. We'll see. We'll see where my gut takes me. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out and checking out this video, and you guys have a great rest of your night.